on this July 26th. And I must congratulate all Liberians on our country's independence. Once again, thank you and welcome to the show. Today's topic is the transparency and vulnerability in marriage. As you know, our show is a program that discusses issues of family concern, a program that encourages family, a program that builds and strengthens family, a platform that encourages family to apply biblical principles in addressing family matters. So today's topic, transparency and vulnerability in marriage. In the book of Genesis, the Bible talks of man, how a man shall leave his father and mother, and they be joined to his wife, and they shall become one flesh. And they were both naked, the man and his wife, and were not ashamed. So we know what transparency means. It just means to be open up, clear, be real to your partner. Tell them about what's going on in your life. Because eventually, that person will still have to make that decision whether to be with you or not. That's when you're going to know if the person really loves you. But sometimes we make our own decision and we become afraid that's what's going on in my life. If this person knows, they might not want to take me. They might not want to be with me. But we know what love means. It entails so many things. Love means that just because you love the person, whatever they are going through, you are going to be part of it. You are going to even encourage the person that you're going to walk through that difficult path together. You're going to embrace each other in your difficulties, because it's love that is binding you together and nothing else. So for most time, we just conclude, I'm not going to do this. I had this past going on in my life. I'm not going to bring the same thing here. But the Bible talks about revealing the truth, and the same truth will set you free. That simply means that the person is going to hear what you have to say, nothing but the truth, and they're going to make their decision. At least they're not going to hear it from outside and then begin to wonder whether they can even trust you and why you didn't tell them. But in short, we all know what we are talking about, transparency in a relationship. It doesn't only start when you get married. It starts when you start dating, start being truthful. So as we examine today's topic, we are just trying to say that anything that starts from the beginning with transparency, it will begin to develop and it will continue, and then it won't be a difficult thing for you to do, because you start learning from that stage of openness, from that stage of being real. You are being real to your partner by telling them what's going on in your life. So as you continue to date, heading towards marriage, that won't be too much pressure. So this is how I understand transparency. But I'm going to turn to my co-partner, my husband, Pastor Christopher Stevens. What can you tell us about transparency and vulnerability?
I want to thank all of you again for joining us on this program. Thank you, sweetheart, for the beautiful introduction. As my wife was saying, the Bible says in Genesis chapter 2, verse 24 and 25, therefore a man shall leave his father and his mother and be joined to his wife, and they shall become one flesh. And they were both naked, the man and his wife, and were not ashamed. There are many people who believe that when the Bible talks about naked, it means, actually being nude. Why doesn't it be a part of that? But what God is saying, not just necessarily being nude or naked to each other physically, but being open, being transparent, being vulnerable. I checked the word transparent in the Webster Dictionary. According to Webster Dictionary, Transparent means characterized by visibility or accessibility of information. Characterized by visibility or accessibility of information, or find or share enough to be seen through. All right? To be able to see through. So transparent means, you are visible, you are accessible. Every information that concerns your life, you are to make it known to your spouse. And vulnerability, according to the Webster Dictionary, means capable of being physically or emotionally wounded, open to attack or damage. So when you enter into marriage, because the Bible says the two shall become one flesh. And so when you one, for example, as a human being, you don't hide from your ear what your eye is going through. Or you don't hide from your hand what's your toe. It's one. The whole body is one. So when you come into the marriage, God is saying that you are naked. In other words, you are exposed. You are vulnerable. And not ashamed of it. Because there are things that you won't just share with the public. Or there are things that you won't share with anyone. Because they are very, very, they are very, very sensitive. Thank you, Holy Spirit. They are very, very sensitive. So you won't want to tell people, because there are some things that we all go through, and you say to yourself, if people hear this about me, I'm done. They will think I'm a gorilla. They will think I'm wolf. We all have what we call the skeleton in the closet. You don't want people to know what you have, because we try to put on this from now with the time of social media and Facebook. We're taking our picture, our best. It's all nice, but we all know life is not just all beautiful and nice. But we're talking about marriage. When you come into marriage, of course you may be attracted by beauty and different kind of things. But when you enter into marriage, God expects you to be transparent, for your spouse to see through you. The world or the public may not see your weaknesses, but your spouse should be allowed to see your weakness. And you should be vulnerable, meaning you should be willing to be wounded, because there's some things that you tell your spouse, what? I can't believe you're telling me this. But you see, it's better that you tell your spouse, because there are many marriages that are breaking away as a problem. I can't believe it. How can this man do this? How can a woman do? I can't believe it. Yes, because people don't want to be vulnerable. We are mandated by God to be vulnerable, to be transparent to the one that we want to share our life with. Because if we are not vulnerable and we are not transparent, and later on one spouse discovers some weakness or something, then the person decides to leave the marriage. And God doesn't want that. You see, part of the love is not just only the beauty and the nice things that we have. Our spouse should be able to see the weakness and the fragility in us that the public don't see, and help us to work on our weaknesses. So honey, I know I talk a little while. I want you to come a little bit, because people really have good reason not to really be open up, because that is not your spouse. So there's a difference if somebody's not your spouse, and to protect your privacy. But when you are in a marriage, what is your view, with respect to spouse being transparent? And I want to go into detail. I know in your introduction you talk about it, but I want you to be a little bit, to go a little bit depth, about what are the benefits, of being transparent, of being open, like a man, sharing his struggle with his wife, Is sharing your struggle, your weakness with your spouse, is it really showing a sign of weakness, or is it a sign of strength or benefit? What do you think?
No. It doesn't show any sign of weakness. It just shows how transparent you are. It just shows how this person is part of you. So you must share what's going on in your life. It also shows your oneness with him. two of you are being one. So whatever happening to you, he must know. That way you'll be able to share each other's burden. You don't only enjoy the good times, but also the bad times, the bad news. It could be health, it could be other things happening on your job, it could be an exam that maybe that you wanted to pass but you didn't pass it. You'll share all those things together and you'll begin to build up each other hope and strength. That's why the Bible says the two become one. So you cannot hide something because it's not good. Then your spouse hears it somewhere. It shows that you don't even trust the person that you are living with. You are not sharing part of your heart with him or her. And the Bible does not want that. And because God does not want that, he knows that no partner going to like that. Hearing your partner's success outside. First of all, your partner should be the first one to get that information. It doesn't mean that every good thing that happens, your partner is going to be around. But whatever happens when you get home, you could give him a call when you get home and you're going to share that with your partner. How much more about the bad things? He should be the one because you are living together, you guys are one. Everything you are sharing is just oneness. And so there are other things that may happen. You take time how you relate that to your partner. That is different. But at the end of the day, your partner still want to know what's going on. And so not sharing, it's like a hold back. You are holding something back. Release it to your partner. You can share your tears, you can share your joy, tears of joy, tears of sadness, but it shows you guys are one and you have to be transparent. Because if your partner hears something outside, like I keep repeating, you know how it makes you feel. Even a friendship, it could be a girlfriend, two ladies are friendly and you think that you really have a friend. But then the good news, your friend has, she not even bring it to you. What I'm shocked. She couldn't even tell me this. She knew I was sharing her joy. So how much more about somebody who you are deemed to live with for the rest of your life? You should be able to share each other joy and each other sadness. And also, if you don't do that, it doesn't bring trust. The person will be thinking otherwise. Why is she hiding this from me? You may have had a past relationship where things did not go right because you were telling the person the truth. When you first met or as the marriage begin, you begin to tell the person all about yourself because others don't have the time to really date for long. Some people just meet for 1 year. I don't think all those things will be told just like that because you try to build up, trust. So it takes time for you to start, opening up. So we understand that. But after you're getting into the marriage, do things that are really sensitive, you should start saying it. Like I said earlier, you should even start from dating. But because people don't be sure who they are getting, what they are getting into. So I don't really blame anybody who wouldn't just want to come into it. But as you see things start to progress, you should start opening up. And first of all, that's why the Lord said we should always pray about any relationship. That way you even know, you have the feelings, how far you will go in terms of whether you're getting to marriage, whether what things will be happening. Because most of the time things won't really be beautiful. Because you start bringing things out and you start seeing the person's behavior because you told them things that happened in your life. I mean, you just know the person cannot be for me. I'm telling you what happened in my past. And they are acting funny, they are changing their attitude. So that way you already know who this person is because you are bringing those things up. And it's very helpful. That person may be the one that you want to be with. But you try to hold back because in your past, no. If that person is yours, that person is going to be yours. But the truth must be told. You got to tell this person what you've been through, what you are going through, what's your present state of mind at that time. And they have to make that decision to know what they are coming into. Tell them your weakness, as you said, earlier. And you could pray together about it. Instead of things, getting out of shape and then people begin to start getting out of their marriages. I'm not going through this. Because the person had not been told or they could not accept what you really are, and we know God is able to deliver anybody at any time. So we are here just to encourage one another. We will know just by people hearing one thing. They say, I'm not going further with her. That's a sign right there. What that person going to be with you, but you are being honest, you are being truthful to yourself and to that person who you are dating. So you are telling that person it could be health issue, it could be other things, and you're going to help that marriage because you have been truthful. So if that person really going to be yours, that person going to be yours. But the truth will always feel better. It will make you to really spit it out and be able to move on and don't have any surprises. That's why, again, we have to pray about our dating, about our marriages, and things that we think we cannot say. We always ask for the Lord's boldness. Then He give us the strength to be able to open our mouths to say it, because we are getting, out of bondage, and we are getting into deliverance, because all these things will bring relief unto your spirit. We cannot continue to please people, make them hear what they want to hear. But the truth about you will make that person to make that decision, which will not be anything hidden. And that's what transparency is. And you have to be vulnerable to your spouse. Let your spouse see your weakness, who you really are. Oh, she's a shy person. She don't like to talk among people. So let me start encouraging her. And you can even start from home. If you have some visitors, let your spouse say something. You're trying to help her because you already know her weakness. You already know his weakness. And from there you start giving that strength and courage. And there are other occasions, maybe you tell your spouse, oh, I can't really do this. But again, everything starts from little. And it is very important that you be able to speak in public. It may not be all the time, but to give little short speeches. If you cannot do it, you can start from home. Your spouse can encourage you. Like I said earlier, you'll have visitors coming in, and your spouse just say, oh, honey, can you say something? He may alert you, before the actual time, but it does growth because he knows your vulnerability. You know how vulnerable you are. And vice versa, if your husband is also, shy or and other things that you know.
And I just want to just say something that's going through my mind as you're speaking, sweetheart. I'm thinking about, being vulnerable. Because you see, those of you who are listening and watching, there's many marriages, because there's no transparency and vulnerability, we don't want to be hurt. We don't want to be wounded because of our past experience. Somebody wounded us, somebody hurt us, and now we bring into the marriage, so we protect ourselves and say, what? I'm not going to let hit this man because he's not over me. And some women even refuse to take the husband name. The husband name is Johnson, and their name is Jackson. I don't want to take his name. But they want to be married so other friend can see the ring. And they want to be vulnerable. Vulnerability actually means you got to be willing to be wounded and to be emotionally wounded and damaged. In other words, you may tell your spouse you're wicked, and your spouse say, what? And they may say all kinds of things to you, whatever, but at least you let them know. But quickly, what I wanted to just say is that one of the ways for we men, especially if you were in ministry, okay, and you are a husband, okay, and you having a weakness, you easily attracted to the opposite sex or other women. You're a man, but you're attracted to the opposite sex. You see other women in your church, you like them, they come to you, oh, hi, pastor, and you say, oh, hi, and you feel inside you that you're getting attracted to that woman, even though you're married, and you feel that the lady, you like her smile, the way she talk to you, it's happening. You must tell your wife and say, look, sweetheart, you be vulnerable. That lady, she spoke to me, but I don't know somehow, I just feel attracted to her. I don't know, but, that be vulnerable. The public may not know that. Probably know the pastor is a giant. But then you as a pastor, is a man, there's a particular woman in your congregation, in a ministry that you are being attracted to because it's a feeling. You can't keep it to yourself. The best way to let your wife help you to tell your wife and say, look, I'm having the feelings towards that woman. Doesn't mean that I'm weak. Doesn't mean that I'm a womanizer. I'm telling my wife. So now wife now will know the problem you're dealing with and will find a way, for example, say, you know what? Whenever she's around, let me be around, don't let her sit in your office alone, always call me. So you let your wife know she already know the problem. But if your wife doesn't know the problem and the woman becomes to get close to you, because she herself being attracted to you, you being attracted to her, you are telling your wife that you actually being emotionally attracted to this woman. You say, well, if I tell my wife, she says, oh, you pastor, you can't control yourself. No, we haven't done anything, but I just having the feeling. And so having the feeling is it's being transparent. You got to make yourself vulnerable enough to tell your wife, look, and vice versa. If a woman see a man and she like the man, you say, but how you be married and then you see another man like the man? It happens. You may be the most handsome person, but your wife may see somebody else and be attracted to the person, another man. You say, but why should I be? It's a feeling. And the devil be true. Now, if the wife come and say, darling, it depends the wife, the kind of person the husband is. If the husband is really understanding, you should be understanding, you should be so transparent enough and accept that, okay, my wife is seeing that she's better. Now, the husband may feel jealous, say, how can my wife be attracted to some other man, But she be vulnerable. She telling you that this man, that for some reason, she's being attracted. Doesn't mean it's a wrong thing. No. She letting your husband know. But you see, the thing is, we keep these things. You don't tell the person. And the person says, see that you like them. And you start, oh, no, I just my friend. You know, something happens. Oh, the marriage. I can't understand why the marriage. All because we are dealing with inner struggles. And we're thinking about how my spouse will think that I'm thinking this way. And then we keep it, and the devil will work on it, and make it to be attracted, and things happen. So, there are many other examples we could go about. I'll let my wife just round up, and then we pray and close.
Yes, so we just want to thank you all for your patience, and these are real life issues. So, as we just talk about it, that's why it's always good to pray, and you cannot act like a spiritual giant.
Yeah.
Pray about these things, you talk about them, and all these things help from making you to fall, because that's what the enemy wants, for people to be separated, for things to happen, and for the world out there to laugh. They say they are Christian, they are believers, and what they're doing. We are believers, and we are also living in the world, but there are ways that we can go about talking about things, and especially praying about them. That God will give us self-control, and it will be transparent to our partners. At this time, we are going to pray. God will help
those who are dealing with different struggles, those who want to be vulnerable and be transparent, but from the message that be able to see and understand, and start becoming vulnerable and transparent, so the marriage will be safe.
Yes. So at this time, we're going to pray. Let us pray. So Father, again, we just thank you and we commit every relationship out there, young relationship, whether they just started, Lord, we just pray for transparency. Especially prayer should always be the center of everything. With prayer comes wisdom with the Father, guidance, how to go about things. And Lord, somebody love their partner, no matter what they hear. You stay better to be attracted. Give them the wisdom how to go about the situation. So bless you, Lord. Thank you. Every marriage out there again. Transparency will be our goal. Marriages will hold together like glue. In Jesus' name we pray.
Amen. Thank you for watching. Bye-bye.